Thursday morning, and things are heating up in Ukraine. Putin has declared martial law in the four regions which have been incorporated in the federal Russian Union. Kherson, Ukrainians are gathering up every single thing they got available. They've still got left in their military war machine, which is practically falling apart. They may have gained territorial gains, but it looks like they got themselves into a mousetrap which the Russians have prepared, and they got their sights set on Kherson. Kherson, I think, it's got around about 50,000 people, and the Russians gave the order to evacuate civilians, and they're going to push them a bit out of range of Ukrainian artillery. More safer point. Problem is, there is a hydroelectric dam which passes on that river in that area, and it provides water to the Zaporizhian nuclear power station. If the Ukrainians blow up that bridge, these reactors, they won't have nothing to cool down the reactors, and it goes into a meltdown mode. And obviously NATO and the Russians are doing their military exercises, not just usual conventional military exercises. We're talking about nuclear military exercises, basically nuking cities of the enemies, basically. And it could be a question of days or in a week or two. This battle in Kherson will break out. This will be a decisive battle. General Armageddon did say it's a very difficult situation, and I believe so as well. Thinking Zelensky's going to regain a bit of territory for what he lost. It's going to be a very hard and bloody battle, and at the sacrifice of huge Ukrainian lives, which practically recruited at gunpoint, not a sufficient military training, and just thrown into the front line, and there you are. So they're not that prepared to fight. There's even more less of them now. We shall see how that evolves. Nuclear alert is pretty high. We've got the West fear mongering about nuclear war. The situation in Europe, protests are growing, and if it continues like this, there could be obviously it's going to be a social collapse if things get worse. That's why in the United Kingdom the BBC are preparing propaganda scripts for their journalists to broadcast to the nation, saying everything is fine while you're freezing and in the cold and in the dark as well. Very, very sure they are. So there's even risks here in Italy. If the lack of gas and whatsoever, we could have February or January power cuts, probably programmed power cuts, and probably a lot of people will probably remain without electricity to save the national grid, because it's going to be more underpowered as this thing evolves. There's been reports in Donetsk, Ukraine's been using phosphorus weapons on civilians there, returning to the Zaporizhzhia. There's a report it's been attacked again. Um, Successfully, the Russians destroyed these two battalions of attack. Um, they want to create a false flag situation, the collective West, so legitimize the West and NATO to use their nukes on Russian targets. It is a very, very dangerous situation. Um, the Baltic countries they are sitting ducks, as well as the situation socially economically slowly will get worse, not immediately.